Hello everyone and welcome to RaceCentre's Race to Reality competition. We're here tonight at Road Atlanta for round 6. Of course, brought to you again by v8online.com.au. Thanks to our sponsors, V8 Online Superstore, Direct Clutch Services and V8 Supercars Fan Group. I'm your host for this evening, Corey Henger, and Reece Garner was unfortunately unable to join us. I've got one of our originals, Daniel Bryant. How you going, mate?
Good, buddy. It's good to be in here, although probably not as good as actually being out there and causing havoc with Jay. But yeah, good to be in the combox for a bit of a change, and yeah, happy to be broadcasting this race to see who gets the next seat in Race to Reality.
Yeah, I think it's been about 2 years since we've commentated together, so I know we've seen a bit of antics out there with you and Jay the last couple of weeks. It's been fun though. You've enjoyed driving these cars?
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. It's been hard to fit in time for sim racing with everything that goes on with V8 Online and other commitments as well. As we see Jay and Hilly having a bit of fun there with the cameraman. I'm sure there's a couple of brown marks left behind on that cameraman. But yeah, so it's been good just to get out there and have some fun. I wasn't expecting to win any races, but thought me and Jay might provide some light entertainment for the viewers. And I'm sure Jay's going to provide some entertainment again tonight.
Yeah, I know it looks like he's out there missing you at the moment, having a run with Hilly. Have a look at the practice times. Looks like Phil Rockstra has again. He's getting faster and faster in this car from when we first saw him. So he's doing a great job out there at the moment with the 1 minute 5.6 in the lead. Yeah,
definitely. Phil Rockstra has been fairly strong. I'm pretty sure if I remember from round 1, he was half decent pace, but he wasn't absolutely nailing it. But he's definitely found some pace. He probably feels a little bit more comfortable now that we're into our second time here at Road Atlanta. This is an awesome track. I'm actually a little bit jealous that I'm not out there at the moment because you know that I've got a soft spot for Road Atlanta, as do you, and it would be awesome to be out there at the moment.
Yeah, definitely is a great race circuit. Luckily that Shane didn't mix it up tonight and go with I think it was the short of the club version with a few extra chicanes. But as you said, second time we've been here. We've of course we've done the full five round schedule now. We went to Oran Park again before the Easter break, and now we're back at Road Atlanta.
Looks like I'm just looking at it. Actually, I'll just quickly see if the director can go on to Jay Kennedy at the moment, because it looks like he's actually showing us how the club circuit goes.
There we go. Good to see he's listening to the broadcast while he's racing.
Yeah, let's see if he can give us a lap of the club circuit so people can see how crazy that circuit is. That circuit is nuts. It would be hard enough in one of these little cars, let alone when we tried to do it in a NASCAR. That was just dumb. But yeah, we've moved on to our qualifying session now.
And just before we start qualifying, just a quick run over some of the previous winners. Madison Down won the inaugural race at Oran Park. George Maris won the last time we were here at Road Atlanta. Justin Ruggier won at Lime Rock. Mitchell Abrahall won at Summit Point. Sean Kelly at Okayama. And Mitchell McLeod at Oran Park when we last went there before the Easter break. So those guys, for those that aren't aware anyway, I'll go through it real quick. Basically, there's 20 races. And if you win one of these races, you're booked into the iRacing final. And you know, those 5 guys that have already won, and now they've booked their place in the iRacing final. So you know, for guys like Phil Rockstra and Tom Jones, Matthew Hill, Robert Hartley, they're also out there trying to get their position. But of course, there's also the bridesmaid entry, which I think you might be able to touch on a little bit more, Daniel.
Yeah. There's a. Sorry, I'm just having a bit of problems with my mic. Yeah, there is some prize entries in, and there's going to be some more coming up into the next few rounds that we've got on. We've still got another 14 rounds after this one, is that right?
Yeah, we're in round 6 at the moment, so...
Yeah, so we've still got a few, because the actual final is 20 grid spots. Plus, I think there might be a few extra surprises at the end of that as well. Not giving away too many secrets, but yeah, we are giving prizes away through V8 Online, so keep an eye on our channel and watch our broadcast, please. And yeah, you'll hopefully win yourself a seat to give this a go if that's what you're keen and you're into. But definitely, it doesn't cost much to get involved for what you've got a chance of winning right at the end. I think it's $10 if you want to race, or it's $50 for a full season. And there's also, you can win, you can get a place, not by actually winning a race, but by just accumulating the most points. And then we might have a talk to the guys at RaceCentre and see if we can throw a couple of wildcard entries into that final race as well, which would be fun.
Yeah, we've got an impressive list of drivers already in there. We saw the likes of Josh Muggleson actually have a try at Summit Point. Unfortunately, come unstuck. So you'd have to say we're going to see Muggo back in a couple of weeks trying to get his spot, because I know he was very keen on it.
Yeah, definitely.
First drivers, so first drivers coming across for their qualifying laps. Like Tom Jones at the top with a 1 minute 6.1, so about a tenth off what he did in practice. This is a 20-minute session, so they've got plenty of time out there at the moment.
Yeah, they've got a bit of time there. We're actually looking at Jay's time. It's not too bad considering that the pace of what we were doing the last few races. So yeah, it's good to see him with a little bit of pace. Now, talking about, if you think that you're not fast enough to win the final race or win one of these races, now we know, everyone here knows that Mitchell McLeod is a talented sim racer and a talented driver at that. But in saying that, I remember, I think you've had this conversation with him as well, Corey, that he actually got into where he went over to the finals over in Germany on a fluke. He decided to do the race and he wasn't at the same pace as everyone else, but the leaders ended up taking each other out and he nabbed that victory. Yeah,
I remember. I've spoken to Mitchell a few times about that one. Actually, there was a competition a couple of years ago that he managed to get into the Aussie finals, and I think the leaders all come together in the race, and off he goes, and he's booked his place to Germany. So, like Dino said, if you're not the fastest driver out there, it's definitely still worth coming and having a crack, because you don't know what happened. I mean, last time we raced here, we saw George Maris and Justin Ruggie get involved in an accident on lap 1, and it was an absolutely fantastic battle as they charged away through the field. As Phil Roxer actually went to the top with a 1 minute 5.9. I just saw about 3/10 off we did in practice, but Phil is really impressed me. I've said it the last couple of weeks now. From where he was at Oran Park in the initial race, he has seriously impressed me with the speed and how much he's improving in his car.
Definitely. Phil, actually, as we have a look at our teammate there, Matty Hill, definitely a boy always to look out for, because he'll find pace out of nowhere. When he looks at the bottom, he'll definitely come out charging. But back to Phil Rockstra for a second. Phil Rockstra has been a really big supporter and avid watcher of V8 Online. We always are getting messages from him on our Facebook wall, which we love. So if anyone's out there watching, make sure that you're on our Facebook walls, showing pictures of you and your setup as you're sitting there watching V8 Online, or send us pictures of your sim rigs, or your wish list, or whatever you want, as long as it's PG. And yeah, send us some stuff through, because we love it. But I would love to see Phil. I'm not sure where his I rating is at the moment, or what license class he is. It's probably something we should have a look at. But I reckon it would be interesting to see Phil in a V8 supercar and see if he could make it to the top split, or on our other broadcast if he could do some. We see some more Grand Am racing.
Yeah, it'd be good to see some of these guys, sort of jump into some of our other series. And as you mentioned, tomorrow night is our Grand Am broadcast, and that is an absolutely fantastic series. I'm an absolute massive fan of it in both real life and in iRacing, and it's so good to see that we've really helped get an Aussie club race off the ground. And I think the last 2 weeks we've actually had the highest strength of field for the Riley. So if any of you guys out there are interested Grand Am fans or interested in racing the McLaren or the Riley, be sure. I think it's at 8:45 now with the daylight savings in New South Wales moving back. So if you guys are keen, make sure you get out there and have a run. And actually, Matthew Hill, one of the drivers out there tonight, is taken over my seat as the voice for Grand Am, the official host, and joined by 5-time V8 champion Madison Downs. So saw a fantastic race last week at Barbara. It definitely is a series with lots of potential.
Yeah, definitely. It's been one of the ones that we've been sitting there kind of bumbling about for a while. Not badly, but just little secrets kind of jumping around going, that would be really awesome if we could make that happen. And then a couple of test broadcasts later, and bam, it's off and going. And it's been absolutely fantastic. Support thrown in from our friends at Track Racer. So it's good to get a small Australian sim company involved in it as well. And it's been a fantastic series. I've got to say, Barber was probably the best Grand Am race that I've watched in iRacing so far. I was absolutely thrilled with that race. I thought it was brilliant, and I can't wait for the next one. It's really, it's up there. I would say it's just as good as what the V8 series is. So if you're loving the V8s and you haven't watched the Thursday night Grand Am, watch the Thursday night Grand Am because it's fantastic.
Yeah, it definitely was a great series. I had a bit of a steer at Barber. It was a lot of fun. I love that track. It's definitely an underused and underrated track, that one. So it'd be nice to see maybe the V8s go there in the future. But speaking of a Grand Am, we actually go to Red Atlanta in a couple of weeks. But I'll just quickly touch on the qualifying. We're almost at the halfway mark. Phil Rockstra is currently at the top with a 105.961. Tom Jones is in P2, the 106.1. Robert Hartley doing a good job there in P3, the 106.3. That's basically the same time he did in practice. Matthew Hill with 106.6, so he's still a little bit further back than you probably like after doing a .2 in practice. Jay Kennedy doing a good job out there at the moment in P5. Robbie Tomei in P6. Luke Emerson in 7th and John O'Barry in 8th. Actually have a look at Robbie now as he comes around the final corner, just nips the inside curb, see if he can improve his time that lap. He actually might have been on an out lap or got an off track on that one. He's pulled it over, so
it's very easy to stuff up your run here, and yet as soon as you make that one little mistake, especially at Road Atlanta, it'll just cost you so much time. And I would have to say that it doesn't look difficult, especially when you're watching it, but that first corner is probably my most hated corner at Road Atlanta.
It's a challenging one in lots of cars, but I had a bit of a steer in these things back when we last came to Road Atlanta. I think it was one of the only races I didn't actually have an accident in. It's interesting. I mean, a couple of guys have different lines. You can take it out wide, you can take a nice shallow line. We're looking at Robert Hartley at the moment, I believe. He's coming over the crest on his lap. But turn one's an interesting thing in this car. I mean, you got to knock it down a gear, dab the brakes, and just turn it in, and hope you've picked it right, and you can hit the accelerator and off you go. But I ran wide a few times, but it is definitely probably one of the most challenging corners on the track, as Robert takes a very shallow line there, nips the curb on the entry.
Exactly. It's one of those corners where you're just not too sure about how much speed you should be carrying. And it doesn't matter how many times you actually do that corner, you're always second guessing what you're doing once you get to it. You're like, am I doing this quite right? And sometimes you just don't feel quite comfortable going into there, but it's a brilliant track. And I think this track offers for some really great racing, because there is lots of different ways that you can approach this track to get different speed results or for manoeuvres. There's lots of room where you can do some good passes at this track, a lot of room for underovers and whatnot, so it is a fantastic race there.
Have a look at the times. Looks like Tom Jones is going on the top, 105.926 versus Phil Rox's 105.961, so not much in between those two at the moment, having a nice battle for the pole. And sorry, Daniel, go on. I
was actually going to say, Barry Nightingale is driving as far as we know, but we still yet to see him put a lap time in.
Yeah, I've been looking to see who has a lap time. He seems to be running off the track and spinning quite often, so that's not going to help you when you get an off track around here, and it obviously doesn't count your lap. I'm going to have a look on board with Tom Jones, I believe, for a lap. He comes around the final corner now. Good run through that final corner. Just quickly while we're on board with him, some very, very, very exciting news to the Australian and New Zealand sim community. Race Champions 4 has officially been announced as coming back.
I know, crazy, right? We were only talking about this last week, and we weren't 100% positive it was on, and we're thinking maybe we should plan a little event just for week 13, maybe something not over the top. And then Chris Tarrant, the international man of mystery, has just kind of gone, we're doing ROC4. And as soon as it was said, it was like, well, we're 100% with you, because we love Race of Champions, and the work that he puts into it's absolutely amazing, and why wouldn't we be involved in it? So we're broadcasting Race of Champions again. It's going to be brilliant. He
dropped the bombshell. None of us here at Vets Online even knew about it. As Daniel said, you were kind of expected it wasn't going to be on again, and then all of a sudden, boom, there's the Race Champions 4 announcement, and as you said, it's going to be good to be broadcast again. I'm hopefully going to have a steer this time. I've missed out on the last couple, but It's a great concept, and I can tell you one thing: the minute that went up, I know there were already guys starting to try and figure out what cars and what tracks and combinations we're going to be using. So I know a lot of the Aussie New Zealand community were really keen to see it come back. It definitely some of the most fun racing you get. I mean, the V8s and the Grand Am, it's fantastic, but with a real mix of car and track, we've seen some absolutely amazing stuff in the last past race champions.
Definitely, it's always fun to watch. It's fun to race in, no matter where you are. There's battles up and down the field. It's absolute mayhem, slightly controlled mayhem. I'll put it at that. It's fantastic to watch. The commentators as well, like the V8 Online team, we only get minimal information, so we can't even leak information out to anyone. So don't anyone ask any of the team for information, because Chris only feeds us a little bit, and we get the broadcast ready and whatnot. We don't know what combinations are going on. We pretty much know the same. As soon as you guys know, we know what's going on. So, it makes it a really exciting for the commentary team as well, because we don't know what to expect. We never know what to expect. So we're just as surprised as everyone else when something's thrown at us.
Well, that's it. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, when Chris goes and does something strange, like decides to reverse the top 10, or who knows what he's going to come up with. He's an absolute mental case when it comes to this. He loves to create chaos. So when he throws something, we don't know what's going to happen until it's actually happening. So we're sitting there guessing the whole time about what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, we had the likes of Sandman and Jay having a run out there. So Chris doesn't give anything away to us. Unfortunately, it would be nice to maybe get a bit of practice and get the edge on people. But we don't know anything, and I'll tell you what, I'm really, really looking forward to it, and hopefully having it on this time by. As soon as I found out it was back, I went and renewed my subscription today, so I'm good to go. I'm really hoping maybe, if you're listening, Chris, maybe the Riley at Virginia, or somewhere like that kind of suits me. But
don't give him something that's going to suit him. And Corey, if you want to get something that's going to suit you, don't put out there what you actually want to drive, because there's a good chance he's going to go scrap that. I want to see him hit a wall. Well,
I know in Race Champions 2, I got an invite to it, and it had the DP at Virginia, and I couldn't even do it, so I was gutted.
Yeah,
so, I think we need to go back to that again, actually.
Yeah, well, Race of Champions, I don't think you're going to say the same thing twice. But while we're still on this subject, Chris has been going through a bit of a hard time as of late with his wife, and she had they found an advanced melanoma, which is quite sad, and it's something that affects a lot of people's lives. So instead of V8 Online Superstore or any of those back in the series, what we're going to do is we're going to try and do a fundraiser for Cancer Council. So there is you'll see some more details coming through. We're going to start working on something. So we're going to put it through a fundraiser thing, and hopefully you guys will donate and do some stuff. But yeah, I think it's really important that we get behind this cause, because it's something that's affected my life over the past few years, and I'm sure it's affected nearly everyone. Probably could tell a story about how cancer's affected their life, either a loved one or a friend of a loved one, and I think it's a good cause to get behind.
Yeah, definitely be good to see that the community really get behind that, and try and help out. And it's a sad thing to hear, but I'm hoping all the best with the outcome. And having a look now. Sorry to go off topic real quick, but it looks like we got Jay Kennedy in the commentary box.
Hey guys, I just actually got a message from Chris, Corey, for you. He does take bribes, so if that's what you're after, you know what you need to do.
Alright, I'll get on to you after this race, Chris.
Speaking of this race, it's going to be a nice close one tonight. I don't know where I've found a little bit of pace from, but it is actually me driving. So
that's what's going on. I'm not in there to go like, hey Jay, guess what? Boom!
Hey, I'm damaged, go past, boom, I'll crash into you. None of that tonight.
But,
yeah. Sorry, go.
No, you're alright. I was just going to say the times are really close. Looking at those now, it's going to be a very nice battle, hopefully, between all you guys.
Yeah, I'll probably end up dropping back pretty quickly or crashing into the fence like I normally do. So, but the top 5 guys look like it'll be nice and close. Only 4 tenths separating the top 4. So, 4 tenths in a racetrack like this can be one corner.
And a lot of draft in these little cars too. So, a couple of decent straights around here to really kind of get close behind the car in front and make a passing opportunity to the hairpin. Oh, sorry, to the chicane rather.
Yeah, I think we saw the last time that a lot of passing was made into the chicane last time we were here, so I'm pretty sure we'll see that again. But I was listening just before, Daniel, and you're right, turn 1, I'm losing a lot of time there, so I might quickly go out and see if I can find that couple of tenths I want to find.
Maybe you should get on the mic to Hilly and see if he can give you a bit of a tow down the straight.
Hilly's in the zone, so I'll just let him go.
He's got game face on.
He has got game face on tonight. It was like Corey the other night on Thursday night. Corey had his game face on for Grand Am, and Hilly's got it on tonight.
Yeah, no, that's good, game face. So yeah,
and there's Hilly spinning on cue.
Yeah,
Mate, I've got to say, if you've ever been in TeamSpeak with our team trying to race, it's absolutely ridiculous. They're all carrying on and laughing and having a good time while you're trying to bloody race out there.
You shouldn't introduce us to stupid games while you're trying to race then. That's all I'll say.
Definitely, there's a lot of time wasting that happens over in our TeamSpeak during racing, and lots of stupid little games that go on. But it's all good fun. If you ever want to join in one of our stupid little games, I think Chivalry's the game of at the moment that everyone's enjoying. Jump on our TeamSpeak and
Trackmania or SimCity as well.
Trackmania, SimCity, yeah, we're always doing something. So if you're ever looking at taking a bit of a break, jump on our TeamSpeak server. The guys are always keen to chat, and if you start talking race cars, they'll love it.
And occasionally we do race over here as well. Not very often. Whoa! We just slammed into Phil. We both went the same way.
Oh,
that was rather.
Yeah. That's. I don't think Phil wants to be your battle buddy tonight, Jay. So try and be nice out there, huh?
Yeah. Sorry, that was really bad. I might go and try and concentrate. Have fun, guys.
Best of luck, mate. I'll try and catch you throughout the race.
Yeah, no worries. I'll probably talk to you while I'm in the pits.
Always good to have a chat with Jay Kennedy. Probably not good that he's taking out the other competitors, though.
Yeah, it's not. When you're running into the guy that's battling for pole, it's probably not the best idea. But speaking of pole, Tom Jones still holding out slightly at the moment.
Look at the actual time between Terry and Phil Rockshaw. Exact same time.
Yeah, both 105.941. So Phil's got a little bit of time. He's obviously been knocked around by Jay. He's going to come to the line. I'm just looking at him now. He's coming down into the chicane. He's a little bit squirmy. If he gets a run off here, he will have enough time though to do one last lap, I believe. He's just coming up. Got about 10 seconds to go in the session, so he'll have enough time to do one last lap. If we can maybe watch Phil's final qualifying lap, actually probably best that we don't, because we've had a bit of a run of the commentator's curse.
Yeah, definitely. You're in the com box now, mate.
Oh, he's actually just gone to pole.
Oh.
Where's that? Oh, sorry, my bad. I loaded up the practice times, not the qualifying time. So.
Rookie mistake, mate. Spent too much time behind a race car and not enough time coming anymore.
Yeah, sorry about that one, Phil. If get your hopes up when you watch this one again later, mate.
Yeah. He just
actually, Robert.
He's looking actually really clean on this lap. Not to jinx Phil, not to put it out there, but his lap's looking really clean. He hasn't really scrubbed it at all.
Yeah, he's looking pretty good out there, and he's actually got Tom Jones behind him, probably a little bit further back to actually get any draft. So I don't know if they'll play any advantage, but Robert Hartley's actually P4. He's closed the margin to 1 minute 6.006. So he's only just off the top three there, who are all in 5.9s. Phil, though, coming over the hill for the final time. The lap has looked smooth.
It's looking so clean. I can't see where he scrubbed it. And I can't see anywhere where he'd actually lose any pace.
This
really nice
surely be pole.
Final.
It's a 6-1. So he's a couple of tenths off the mark there as Tom Jones behind him goes for a bit of a spin. So Tom Jones does wrap up pole position as the qualifying session is officially over. So as we bring up the qualifying results, Tom Jones, as I mentioned, pole position with 1 minute 5.926. Terry Nightingale and Phil Rockstar, both 1 minute 5.941s for second and third. Robert Hartley, Powerbond Racing, 1 minute 6.007. Actually need to see if Ryan Day can maybe do one of his famous track maps for Road Orlando every time Robert rather comes and plays in the race reality. Matthew Hill from Dynamic Synsport in P5, 1 minute 6.127. Matthew's teammate Jay Kennedy, P6, 1 minute 6.9. Robbie Tomei in 7th, 1 minute 7.0. Luke Emerton in 8th, 1 minute 7.4. And Powerbond Racing again, John O'Barry, 1 minute 8.5, rounds out the 9-car field for tonight. As the cars grid up. And as always, as we see in the Grand Am races, the timer has officially started, but we are working on that to get a fix for it. But in game, we've still got about 30 seconds, unless all the cars grid up. But we'll keep you up to date throughout the race on where the official time is. Looks like we're still waiting for one more, I believe.
We're waiting to hit the grid.
Oh, so we're waiting for Shane. Shane's actually in the server.
Oh, that's right, Shane.
Big hello, obviously, to everyone over at RaceCentre as well. If anyone's in the Sydney or Gold Coast centres, hope you guys are having fun on those sim rigs and enjoying the racing we're broadcasting here to you tonight.
Definitely, yeah. And for those who are looking at getting a ticket but don't think they can make a race to reality, but are near one of the Gold Coast or the Sydney branch, there are other ways to get in. Oh, and we're off and racing.
Yeah, the lights didn't come up there, but on my screen anyway, you're off and racing. Everyone's got a clean start off the line. Looks like the front, the 6 or so, have put a bit of a margin over Robbie Tomei, John O'Barry, Luke Emerton, though, into turn 1.
Definitely a good start there by everyone. Everyone really kind of nailed that start. Normally we see some people just kind of have a few issues trying to get this car off the line, but everyone seems to have gotten away quite cleanly.
The good starters, they all sort of start to get single file now. You want to be close enough because we are coming up to the straight in just a minute, and lap 1 is a good opportunity to pounce on someone and make the pass. They're looking like John O'Barry using a bit of the curbs through the downhill S's back there.
Definitely.
Everyone is still clean though. Sorry, Daniel.
No, you're right. I was just going to say it's definitely one of the spots you want to go, but the first few laps you don't want to dive it in there just to get the spot because it's a 40-minute race. You've got a lot of time. You've got a lot of time to work on it.
Phil Rockstra. Yeah, just say don't go for a dive. Phil Rockstra has a big look up the inside of the 99 car, I think it was. Yeah. And now he's going to have to watch out for Robert Hartley on the exit.
Phil's really close there to Terry, and why this battle's going on, Tom's starting to pull away already.
Yeah, this is like a magic for Tom. If you start to get in a battle here and stop the momentum of this car, you can lose so much time.
Definitely Phil's going to... he had a little bit of a look there on Terry, but side's better of it. But Robert Hartley's going to take advantage of this, and Matthew Hill right behind.
Looks like, I think that was Phil Rockstra just getting on the brakes a little bit earlier than expected. He might have a slowdown. Yes, I think he's got a slowdown from the previous lap.
Matthew Hill going to take advantage of that as well. Matthew Hill really sitting there with Robert Hartley, so this could go either way. Now, the big thing with these cars, and I really noticed it in the races that I did, is if you push them a little bit too hard and scrub the tyres, that the tyres wear off quite fast and your pace will just go. So, I mean, although Tom has taken a nice early lead, it's easy enough to start losing your pace really fast in this car.
Matthew Hill, Robert Hartley getting close into the chicane down there. Looks like Phil Rockstra has cleared his slowdown, so we questioned it after he made the mistake into the chicane on lap 1. He's actually pulling out. He must have a drive-through penalty or a stop and go. Phil Rockstra is in the pit lane. Can you believe it?
He would be so disappointed with that after such a solid effort to be pulled into pit lane.
We keep saying how fast he is, but week in, week out, small little mistakes keep creeping into Phil's driving, unfortunately. But he's got the pace there, but mistakes are really killing him at the moment. Yeah,
it's one of those things. It's racing, isn't it? That those little mistakes, those small errors, is where it really hurts. You can put down really fast quality times, but it's those small little errors. Hill goes a bit off track there. That will hurt you, and that's what racing is. Unfortunately, you got to take the good with the bad, and you got to be prepared for all circumstances.
Speaking of good with the bad, Phil Rockstra, I think, as he's come in to do his stop-go penalty, has forgotten to uncheck tyres and fuel, and that is a very, very lengthy pit stop in this car.
Yeah.
I saw the car get lifted up, so if that's the case, maybe a bit of frustration, he's forgotten to do it.
He would be kicking himself. I think he's about to go a lap down, because he's still not out of pits. He hasn't moved. He's going to go a lap down here.
There we go. The lead's coming now as he's exiting the pit lane, so he's going to come out in the front pack. Can you believe it, though? He's almost... leaving it so late was a bit of an interesting one for Phil, because he would have almost been better to just slow it up on the straight and get it over and done with. and he's come out between the battle of first and second, so...
Definitely put a bit of a gap now between Terry and Tom. So, you know, probably a little bit frustrating there for Terry to have Phil Rockshaw come in a lap down, and with Phil, the speed that Phil's got, it's not like that he's going to be a slower car. He's just going to be a bit of a hindrance, I think. But
if anything, Phil could actually could work out well for Nightingale at the moment, because he can maybe get that draft off Phil and close up on the back of Tom, or maybe Phil goes for a move on Tom and something happens. But it could work both ways.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, Phil's probably going to look to get around Tom here just so he can get back on the lead lap, as you never know what could happen in one of these races. So, you know. But yeah, definitely needs to. If he gets around Tom, he'll get back on that lead lap. And Jay Kennedy doesn't seem to have still fallen back too far here. He seems to be just there. Probably not close enough to get any draft, but still in it.
Yeah, I'm just looking at Jay. He's still in the front pack, actually. He's broken away. He's got almost 10 seconds back to the next pack of cars behind him, so he's keeping up the front pack, and his last lap in the race was actually 106.4. His best in qualifying was only 106.9. So he's found a massive amount of time in the race.
Yeah, definitely. And it's one of those things, again, like for me personally, when I was doing quali laps at Oran Park, I wasn't overly fast, I wasn't overly impressive. But when we went green to start, I found myself sitting there until I had a bit of an incident with guys that were a lot faster than me in qualifying, and it's because you can sit right behind them, you can follow their lines, you can see the way that they're actually driving and kind of mimic what they're doing. Oh! So
Phil Rockshaw had a big look up the inside of race leader Tom Jones there into turn 1, and that's exactly what the guys all behind want to see, as he goes in massively deep. And he's gonna maybe hopefully he's gonna move over here for Rob. No, Rob's gonna get stuck behind him now, so bit of a moment there for Phil after he tried to attack the leader and maybe get his lap back. Unfortunately, no safety cars out here tonight. Although if you're listening, Shane, wink wink nudge nudge, if Rob gets his lap back, sorry, Phil gets his lap back rather, he gets sideways.
Definitely
he's in the draft here actually of Terry Nightingale down the straight. He's gonna go for a pass, so he wants to race these guys, even though he's a lap down. He's going to have the inside line again. Is he squirming on a brace? Job done actually quite easily. Oh! Terry's actually just around the back of there. Watch out for Rob Hartley now. Here comes Hartley.
Oh no, this is not good. Hilly's probably going to take advantage. Hilly's probably going to get the advantage out of this. Now, although Phil is a lap down, he's obviously got speed. It might be one of those things, and I'm surprised Tom didn't do it as well. Maybe it might be better just to let Phil pass and just let him run his own race, because if Tom lets Phil pass, then he can use him as a slip for most of the race and not be out in that open air all by himself.
Just looking now, Tom has got a massive margin after that.
We've got an incident further back.
So we've got Robert Hartley and Matthew
Hill. See if we can get that back on replay from our director.
Have a look at the replay now. As they've come out of turn 1. Racing each other side by side up the hill, and as they go up the hill, Matthew Hill has, I think, just tagged the back. He has. He's hit the back left rear, or the right. Is it left? Yeah, left rear. No, right rear. I'll get it right eventually. He hit the right rear of Robert Hartley, and round they go.
Yeah, definitely. Hilly would feel quite bad about that. I'm actually surprised that Hilly's decided though to tow that in and not just drive it back to pit.
Yeah, if the damage is obviously too bad, it might be a little bit faster, but looking up front now, the gap is now 3.2 seconds, and as they cross the line this time by, look who it is in P3.
Jay Kennedy. He's going to be the secret little soldier tonight, I think. I think he's just going to sit there and do his little thing. Obviously, I'm just a very bad influence on Jay Kennedy, and I should not race with him.
Oh, Robert Hartley, massive. Hartley's actually, he had a big moment and then went down the, I think it was the club circuit to get out of the way, so big damage. That car's actually got the crabs going on at the moment. Looks like we've got a good battle now with Robbie Tomei, Luke Emerson and John O'Barry. These guys are battling as Emerson pulls out of the draft. They're battling for 5th, 6th and 7th. Will become 4th, 5th and 6th.
Definitely, and a big shout out to John O'Barry as well. I know he's been a big supporter of V8s Online and what we do, and I was actually talking to him the other day about beer, because he's a big craft beer follower, and follows me through the Beer Brethren. So it's good to see that we share similar interests. I think the only thing we don't share, I think he's a Ford supporter, which is just evil, and I'm a Holden man.
Yeah, well, I can say that one of these are right.
Yeah, you could give me anything, it's not a Ford, but that's all right. We'll forgive him his sins, just as we forgive you, Corey.
Oh, actually, John O'Barry's gone around. The man you were speaking of, he's looped as he comes, as he got over the rise of the hill, went to turn into the right-hander. Go to a replay. He's come over the hill, turned it into the right-hander, lost the rear of the car, losing it, hits the grass, losing it rather, and backs into the fence rather softly.
I don't think John O'Barry's going to be talking to me anymore now. I think maybe I put a bit of a curse on him. Sorry, Jono. When you watch this replay, mate, I didn't mean to.
As we are now officially at the 10-minute mark, so 1-4 through this race, 30 minutes to go. Tom Jones leading by about 2.5 to 3 seconds. Bill Rockster is still out there, actually second on the road, but is technically 8th. Probably a little bit of red mist driving. When he come out of the pit lane, a couple of the guys are a little bit upset with him joining in the battle pack for the lead, but you know, I think we all have those red mist moments, and thankfully no one was. Actually, Phil got very sideways there. No one was involved in an accident due to that.
Yeah, definitely. Probably one of those things. Phil's obviously very keen to race, and yeah, just kind of backed everyone else up, and it ended up descending bad for a certain man who's our Thursday night commentator, Matthew Hill. How are we, mate?
I've been better, but
Yeah.
hello everyone.
Yeah, not
Yeah.
too bad, mate. It's unfortunate to see that accident out there with you and Rob.
Yeah, it was sort of. Yeah, I tried to give Rob the corner and ran out of space, and unfortunately we touched. But man, I don't know what Phil was doing racing a lap down. I thought that was a bit silly, but
Yeah, I was just saying that maybe a little bit of red mist rather after he had the drive through, and a little bit cranky maybe when he come out of the pit lane and jumped in that front battle. But I got to say, if you're going to hit anybody, it has to be one of those Power One cars. A bit of a tradition we got going on.
trading the blue with the green seems to be a common theme, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But, these cars are tricky to drive at the best of times, and when you're in a pack like that, I probably didn't do enough practice anyway. I probably showed him my times, but unfortunately it didn't end well for Rob, who was very much a victim.
Yeah, definitely. It's a little unfortunate to see you both out there, although Jay Kennedy would be one of the happiest men at the moment, because instead of running at the back, he's actually running third.
He's rubbing his hands together. I'm sure he cheered a little bit on the mic then too.
Yeah, he's probably just hoping that Tom and Terry have a bit of an incident and then, just win by default.
Can you imagine the
That could happen.
imagine the
You never know.
celebrations if Jay Kennedy books a place in the iRacing final?
Yeah, definitely. I honestly, out of to talk about the team for a second, out of the whole team, I'm like, Matthew Hill will be the first one to probably book a spot to the team out there. If Jay Kennedy beats you in booking a spot, Hilly, that's not saying that Jay's a bad driver. I'm just saying that he's really not that good. So.
I can't wait to hear the comments when this when he hears this.
Oh, I'm sure he's too used to driving a donkey and cart around, and when there's pedals and a steering wheel involved, it's got to be complicated for him. There's a reason why we're in the com box and not normally racing. So good job for him. He's definitely making me look really bad at the moment. So you know, such as life. Like Terry Nightingale starting to put on a bit of speed now to Tom Jones now that he's gotten past Phil. But Phil, again, really hasn't died off the back of Terry. He's still sitting there. He's hasn't really given up much room. Not that Phil's fighting for a spot at the moment. I think he's just trying to keep his pace.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think, you know, Phil's let him go, and he'll be waiting for these two to get back into it. And I mean, he's a lap down, so he's obviously not racing for position. But I dare say he'll be sitting back, waiting to see if Terry can catch up to Tom, and then maybe try and pass them and beat them both on pace, so he can, you know, really show what he's got in this car. It's unfortunate about the drive-through. Like I said, he just left it too long to clear the slowdown. I think I'm going to assume that's what it's for, because he slowed down and then got the drive-through. Just look at Luke Edmondson in the pit lane and John O'Barry. So
just have a quick look, see if we can find what's happened to Luke Edmondson back there and why he's come into pit.
yeah, I just found it now. He's on my personal replay. He's come up the top of the hill, and he's just gone to the left and bang, head on into the fence and round he goes. That might actually be day done for Edmondson.
Definitely one of those things that says now. I'm pretty sure you get one quick toe in this, so I'm sure he can pull it in. He's quick and then get back out. And oh, Phil Rockstra's gone a little bit wide there.
Oh, he's missed all the walls
off the short circuit and managed to keep it together. But that shows how easy it is to do something like that. So anything could happen yet between Terry and Tom. Definitely a big moment. Lucky to keep that off the wall, because he still do carry a lot of speed through there. So he's gone a little bit. Oh, very, very lucky man.
Actually, just looking further back, Robert Hartley is still out there racing with that crabbing car. Currently in P4, he's about 13 seconds off Jay Kennedy at the moment.
He's definitely keen to race that while it's crabbing. You'd think he would find a lot more pace pulling into pits and getting that straightened out a little bit. Definitely missed the quick toe, but if he's got the skill to race it while it's crabbing, we'll go for it.
I think the track position's the main thing. If he pulled it in, he'd lose a spot to Robbie Tomei. So, although now that a couple more guys have dropped out, it's almost, you'd have to think it'd be worth it, because Luke Emerson has officially left as well. So, unfortunate for Luke, he hit that wall pretty hard, but hopefully we'll see him back in future race to reality competition events.
Yeah.
Also, big thanks to Matthew Hill. We'll be hearing that voice again tomorrow as John O'Barry actually has a spin again. Thanks for joining us, though, Hilly, mate. Looking forward to hearing that voice tomorrow night at Suzuka, I believe, in the Grand Am Series. So, yeah, looking forward to that one.
That's right. Yep. Round 10 of the Grand Am, so only 2 rounds to go. So yeah, Suzuka should be a really well-suited car, well-suited track for these high downforce cars. So, catch us then. And yeah, I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks for jumping in and coming down and seeing us after your spin, and have fun being the voice tomorrow night, as I'm sure you'll continue to be, and hopefully we become bigger than Jay Kennedy, and Pippi's spot for good. But no.
I tell you, we're ramping up behind the V8s for watched on YouTube.
Yeah,
and on Twitch, we're creeping up there, so Jay better watch his spot.
Definitely picking up a lot of momentum, the Grand Am Series, which is fantastic to see. And obviously people can tolerate putting up with your voice as well, which is probably good for you to actually hear that people can tolerate your voice. So, because you're a little, I remember hearing when you first got on, you're a little bit scared, a little bit worried about how it was going to go, and it's like you're a born natural, mate.
I tell you, it's always nerve-wracking doing it the first time. You're always petrified about saying something probably not kind on live on air.
Not kosher.
Yeah, not kosher.
Drop the swear words, Matthew.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those things. First broadcast that I did. I went from doing a few little camera things, and then I went and did a broadcast with Corey where I was directing and doing the voice at the same time, and that was a little bit worrying at first. And you know, even now getting on it, I still get, oh, what, you know, what if something goes wrong, or you know, what if I say something stupid? And then I'm like, you know, if people know me, oh, Jay's had a big moment. Oh, going off road there, scary stuff. Yeah, and you know, it's one of those things that it's like, well, most people know me now, and if I say something stupid, they know it's just me, and they know that there's a good chance that I'm half retarded, so they just put up with it. But yeah, you're doing an awesome job, and I'm sure people love hearing your voice, and mate, and now you got Madison next to you as well in the combox. Now that Corey's abandoned you to actually go a race Grand Am because he did a couple of broadcasts and then just wanted to be a part of it because he couldn't stand talking about it and just wanted to race it.
Yeah, that's actually good to see Corey back on track. In the prototypes, he's a real front contender as well, which is good to see, Corey.
Yeah, it was good to be back at the pointy end. It's been a while since I've been that far up, but I'm unfortunately going to miss Suzuka. I'm hoping to be back for the last round at Road Atlanta though, so I'll definitely be tuning in tomorrow night though for the call.
And we will see a full season from you next season, Corey?
I'm a little unsure yet. I'm getting conned into doing the V8 again like I always do, but we all know how long my V8 sort of, you know, love for that car lasts. So, you know, if you don't see me in the first 3 or 4 weeks, you'll guarantee to probably see me by week 5.
Yeah, it's definitely a love-hate relationship there. Alright, Hilly, I think we've taken enough of your time, mate, so you can go and get a bit of rest. Just those vocals are ready for tomorrow night.
Yeah, that's it. Looking forward to it, guys. Catch you all then.
See you, mate.
So, we are now officially 20 minutes into the race. Tom Jones leads from Terry Nottingham. Oh, Jay Kennedy!
He's caught it! He's actually caught that. Now, Director, did we get that? Because that was...
I think we need to go to a replay there. Jay just showed some of his donkey drifting skills out there on the dirt then.
Mate, I would love to see Jay racing a donkey in a cart. I reckon we could go for Mexican D1. Definitely.
As you see, he drops the wheel off the dirt, and I think pulling the straps on his donkey every now and then might have helped him on that one, because he's about to just say that was a pretty good squirm there for Jay. He's got to watch out though, because Robert Hartley is coming. Oh, he's actually another big slide there for Jay. So remember, the tyres are going off that car. Robert Hartley is now within about 5 seconds of Jay. So it's not over. The podium spot could go begging. You know, I almost want to get a word with Jay, but I think it might be the wrong time.
Definitely might be. Now, the biggest thing for Jay is he wouldn't have much experience on the tyres being as worn as what they are, because the last 2 races pitted from accidents and from other things where the tyres have been changed. So this is the first time he's really gotten a fair bit of wear and tear out of these tyres. So this is probably a bit of a new experience for him in Race to Reality.
So just back to what I was originally trying to talk about, we're last time by when the leaders crossed the line, we officially crossed at 21 minutes 10 seconds. It's a 1.7 second lead from Tom Jones and Terry Nightingale. Jay Kennedy's 32 seconds back in P3, doing a good job at the moment. Robert Hartley 36 seconds back in P4. Robbie Tomei in 5th, 44 seconds back, and Phil Rockstra is the last of our runners in P6. John O'Barry, Luke Edmondson and Matthew Hill have all called it quits after various different accidents, so 6 guys left, and we're only halfway through the race. So
yeah, the field has shrunk a bit, but see, Tom Jones and Terry Nightingale are doing very similar laps. Tom just last 2 laps seems to be a little bit quicker than Terry, but it mightn't take, like, it doesn't take too long. If he can get a little bit of a draft from Tom, he'll be right back up there with him and battling for the lead. But I think the next battle might actually come down to Robert Hartley and Jay Kennedy.
yeah, it looks like, as I said, Robert Hartley has got the crabs at the moment, and I mean that in the most politest way I possibly could say it. But Robert Hartley is catching up to Jay Kennedy. That car's not too straight, the number 33, but Jay's last lap was 108.2 versus Rob's 107.9, so the battle for third isn't over yet. There's about 4 seconds in it. And just under 20 minutes to go, so...
Actually quite surprised of Robert Hartley's times, like a 107.964, not just, you know, just under a second slower than the leaders, but still managing to hold that together.
have a look on board with Robert Hartley and just have a look at the steering wheel angle. I'm not sure if you guys can see that at home, but the angle of that steering wheel in a straight line, I can tell you, I'll wait till it gets straight again. I can tell you that it's probably not the most ideal driving position there for Rob.
No, definitely not, and definitely would be hard to get around these corners like that, let alone try and get the thing in a straight line. So he's doing a stellar job. If there had to be given the seats for driving with a disability, it would have to go to Robert Hartley at the moment.
Yeah, he's definitely out there struggling, but looking, the battle up front isn't over yet too. The last lap by Tom Jones was about 4/10 slower. This time by the two leaders are basically on identical lap times, so at about 1.3 seconds of margin at the moment. Tom's still holding the lead as he has rather since the start of the race. He's got just over 15 minutes to go now, but the gap is narrowing to Terry Nightingale, as I said, with only 1.3 seconds between the two.
Yeah, Terry can find that little bit of pace and just get back into the slip. It won't be too long until they're drawn really close together, and the fight will be back on for that lead. But Tom Jones having a fairly comfortable race, only that one little incident with Phil coming back out from pit. Other than that, he's had it fairly easy.
Trying to see Jay Kennedy, the battle between Jay and Rob for the final podium spot. Last time by, Rob was 0.8 of a second quicker, so Jay's really starting to squirm around there and looks like he's struggling. So another couple laps, I think Rob's going to be on his bumper. So that third place for Jay Kennedy might go slipping as Rob gets sideways now, though.
Definitely Jay still keeping his car together. Around the track here, but Terry Nightingale has actually done a fairly decent lap last up around and pulled in a fair bit closer there to Tom Jones.
Yeah, last time by it was 1.3 seconds, and so he's found about 0.3 of a second. So he's going to be getting very close, if he's not already, to being in that draft and putting Tom on a lot of pressure. The main thing is now, there's still a long time to go, so he needs to make sure he makes a calculated move about and really thinks about it, because he can't afford to, to dive up inside, make wheel-to-wheel contact and make both these cars down the pit lane, because although they've got almost a 40-second lead, the repair time and that is going to be maybe a little bit too long.
Definitely. I'm sure though Jay Kennedy would think otherwise if these two come together. Definitely a stellar job. I'm 106.6 that lap by, Terry 106.79, so Tom's managed to pull it out and just a little bit as we're going back and forward here.
Yeah, the gap keeps going, back a tenth, forward a tenth, back a tenth, forward a tenth, but the battle between Jay and Rob is very one-sided at the moment. The crabbing Robert Hartley is almost on the bumper of Jay Kennedy. Hopefully Rob's got the latest skin downloads and you can see the do not overtake hazard signs on the back of Jay's car.
Definitely. Well, I mean, if something happens and Robert Hartley goes to go around him, he definitely got warned before it happened.
Yeah, still got the hazard do not overtake signs on that back bumper. You go on board now with Rob. The last time by, he did a 107.6 versus Jay's 108.6, so it's now creeped out to a second, a lap quicker for Robert Hartley.
Yeah, definitely. For next race reality, I think I might do something really super special for the back of Jay's car, and I won't even tell him what's going on. We might make it a secret surprise, so maybe watch out for Jay's car for the next race.
Looking at the battle up front again, 106.6 for Tom Jones and 106.7 for Terry, so the gap back out to 1.3 seconds. Meanwhile, back in the pack, actually looking at the other guys out there on track, Robbie Tomei, doing a solid job out there in P5. He's not racing with anybody else. He's just doing his own thing and getting the points at the moment, hoping maybe for that bridesmaid entry.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, Jay Kennedy's actually gone around. Sorry, Daniel.
Oh.
Jay Kennedy, Robert Hartley started to apply the pressure, and round goes Jay.
Definitely cracked there, pushing it a bit too hard. He's gone around, but he's managed to get away with no damage. getting it back out on track.
Gonna just quickly drag him down if we can. Just give me a second.
You just go up there and make sure that that it's all PG before you drag him down.
Here we go, Jay Kennedy. Mate, the donkey drifting couldn't save you on that one round to go as soon as Rob got to your bumper.
Thanks. Yeah, I'm trying to concentrate and now you've done that to me. No, I could see for a few laps that Rob was starting to catch me. I was starting to have really big troubles in the rear. It's getting really loose, so I knew it was just a matter of time, but I didn't expect a spin. But I've been really happy. Third for a long time. Didn't see that coming.
Yeah, mate, you've... Sorry, Daniel, go on.
No, I was just going to say, you're definitely doing a lot better, and I think...
What are you trying to say? What are you trying to say?
I'm trying to say that I'm the bad influence, mate. I shouldn't be out there with you because you're doing a lot better. But I was just saying before that obviously the last two races you pitted quite early with damage, so you would have changed your tyres. But this would have been the first time that you're still out there on the same set of tyres, so it'd be feeling a little bit strange by now.
Yeah, it's a really tough setup. It gets really loose really quick. Probably good for 1 or 2 laps, and then it starts to deadle after that, and loses a fair bit of grip in the rear. So I'm pretty sure a few guys are starting to struggle in the rear as much as I am, as I forgot to change gears there. Yeah, probably one thing I'm actually struggling with too. I'm always blowing the thing up going on downshifts as well. Starting to get a bit worried about that.
Yeah, only got 10 minutes to go there, mate. He's looking behind you. It looks like Robbie Tomei might actually be catching now as well, so...
The game face is on, trust me. I actually wasn't sure if you are all playing tricks on me or something before when I've been in third for so long, so... it's been good fun out here. But yeah, it was a bit weird what happened ahead, but... It's been a pretty good race, and I'm rather happy with how I've gone.
Yeah, you're definitely doing a good job, and doing the team proud, mate. We're quite
Might actually take the L plates off, I think.
Yeah, well, actually, you're going to get something special for next week. So
I'm going to tell you
it's
not going to be a horse and cart painted on the side or something, is it?
Mate,
ridiculous like that?
We know in Mexico they don't have horses. There's only donkeys over
donkeys.
There. So, like, don't
I love
try,
that. Love that because I'm from south of the border.
Say that you've got a horse. It's really a donkey, okay?
My Holden donkey door goes rather well, thanks, eh?
I know, mate. Sorry, Daniel.
No, you're right. I was only going to give him more grief.
I was going to say, we might leave him to it. He's got Robbie Tomei coming up quite close now. Only 10 minutes to go, Jay, so we'll leave you to it, mate. Best of luck trying to hold him off.
Okay,
yeah, thanks, guys. Buddy. It's on, it's on.
So, as I said, we do have about 9 minutes left in this race, so Jay Kennedy now, he's going to be coming under fire from Robbie Tomei very soon, and up front, the gap has actually closed down to under a second as Terry continues to catch up to Tom Jones.
He's definitely, he's slowly getting there, but after we've said that he probably should take it easy to get there, he's now starting to quickly run out of time.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we said that he was chipping off maybe a tenth or two here, and then Tom was getting a tenth or two back, and looking now driving a lot more aggressively, trying to get to the back of Tom. Time is running out. You know, this is to book a place. The winner is guaranteed a seat in the iRacing finalist. So it's, you know, big pressure on these two at the moment. Tom's been leading all race. The question's going to be, has Terry maybe used up his tyres a little bit harder trying to catch up, or has Tom used up more of his trying to defend? Is Tom a little bit wider in turn one?
Right, only one mistake here now from Tom, and Terry will be all over him.
Tom there, a lot of curve. Has he got to slow down? That's actually, I've done other cars.
Yeah, he mightn't have got a slow down for that one, because he looks like he's still racing fairly hard there.
It was a bit awkward there as he rejoined. Just got an apology from our director that having a few server dramas and something to do with dropping frames, all technical stuff that I've got no idea what I'm talking about, but apologies about that one.
Said, yeah, we are sorry. We're still to probably clear it up a bit. There's not a lot of servers available in Australia, obviously, that allow us to do what we do. And sometimes there's a little bit of a teething problem. It doesn't happen very often, but again, it's still a fantastic effort, and you know, hopefully, you know, these little glitches and stuff that will get sorted, and we are looking at ways of fixing them. And your feedback is greatly appreciated from our viewers as well. So if there's something that you think we can do to improve, or something you're thinking that we could change, send it through. But right now we're looking at this battle as Terry's really getting close there to Tom.
Yeah, and just looking further up ahead of these two, actually the battle for 4th and 5th of Jay Kennedy, Robbie Tomei is now in distance ahead of Tom, so hopefully that he doesn't catch up to them and maybe put him off. But last time by the line, he crossed at 33 minutes and 25 seconds, so time's running out. Terry's in the draft. Both these guys need to make sure they don't do anything too silly.
Definitely, it's a quick way to end your race.
Yeah, I was just going to quickly say, neither of these guys have run in any of the previous Race to Reality events so far, so they're not in it for the bridesmaid thing. They're here to win. They're here to book their place.
Definitely. One of them we will more than likely see again. The other one we won't see until the final. It's working out who's going to have to attend a few more races to get that win.
Interesting, that one, actually. We haven't seen, every time someone's booked a place in the final, we haven't seen them return yet, so...
No, we haven't. We probably should see if we can get a couple of the guys that are booked to come back and see if they want to do a few races, and yeah, just to see. I
think maybe towards the end of the series, give them a bit of practice before they go into the final, and I got fingers crossed, fingers absolutely crossed. I don't know what Shane's got in the works. Maybe you can give him a bit more, a little bit more out, rather. I got my fingers crossed. We have Bathurst released for the iRacing final of Race Reality, and we can drive these things across the top of the mountain. That would be my ultimate goal.
If I don't think it's going to matter what happens, whether there is already a plan in place.
Terry's actually gone up the inside. Sorry to come away from you. Then Terry Nightingale's gone up the inside of Tom Jones. Side by side, the last corner doesn't always work. No, watch out, boys.
Tom Jones gives him a bit of room. That might have been a smart move there from Tom Jones. Gives him the slip now, and instead of sitting there and battling, because obviously you really want that spot, if Tom's smart about this, he'll just sit behind him and try and get a move done on the last coming off the straight there. So it's probably...
what Tom's got to do is not do that. He made a mistake at the top of the hill there. He's actually lost a lot of time.
Terry's gotten away a bit here. Looks like
what he needs to do now is get a bit closer, get a good run out of the long right-hander coming up and getting that draft. But he's got to make sure he doesn't lose too much time, because he lost a bucket load there on the exit of turn 2.
Definitely. We're coming up to some... It looks like we're starting to get closer there to the lap car.
Just back to Bathurst. Sorry, Daniel. It's hopefully, no matter what Shane's got in play at the moment, I think you were trying to say that we will move to that, because that'd be an absolute fantastic way to send off this series.
Definitely. To finish off on Bathurst would be absolutely amazing. It looks like Terry's a little bit sideways there. This is Tom a good chance to catch right back onto his tail.
Yeah, this is what Tom needs. Terry made the mistake over the top of the hill. Tom's got to run here. Terry goes to the inside. Tom goes to the outside. It's going to be hard to pass on the outside line at turn 1. He's got the nose ahead though. No silly stuff here, boys. Tom's creeping across.
Oh, he looks like he's given Terry the racing room there.
Yeah,
he's carrying a lot more speed.
And last time by, they crossed the clock at 36 minutes and 45 seconds, so not many laps to go here. The battle is on to book the place in the iRacing final.
Tom's not really letting Terry get away here. He's going to stick with him.
And it's great to see some of these guys, that maybe didn't think they had the chance, earlier on when we had the likes of Justin and Madison and Abrahall and those guys, they've come out to play now, and I'm hoping we see a few more different new names as the series goes on, because as you said, anything can happen.
Yep. If anyone's wants proof of that, just have a talk to Mitchell McLeod. I'm really close there.
He was a little bit slow though through the chicane, so they're catching up to traffic. He hasn't got out of the chicane as well as he would have liked. He needs to get closer to the back of Terry at the moment. He wants to try and get another pass done. He was close enough before. Maybe gave him a little bit too much room at turn 1. A little bit too nice.
It's definitely one of those things. It's all or never when it comes to one of these. He needs to right now. He hasn't got time to sit there and nip away at him. He needs to just get this job done. He needs to get around him.
Oh, Jay Kennedy sort of heads out of a spin there in front of the leaders. So Jay Kennedy, after being third for the majority of the race, lost a spot to Robert Harley and now loses a spot to Robbie Tomei. Is he going to go to replay? He's done exactly what I think Edmonton did earlier in the race. Over the hill, just got a little bit sideways and missed the fence.
Sorry, Tom Jones and that's just come up on Tomei there, and it looks like Tom's got a fairly good run down coming onto this straight.
Yeah, Tom has got a run. Unfortunate for Jay Kennedy though, as he gives up 4th place. Tom has a look up the inside though into the chicane. Not close enough. See the car's squirming.
And just have a quick look at the time here.
Oh, Tom sideways. That might be it. That might be it. Tom's giving away too much time. When they cross the line this time by, I believe we're going to have about a lap or two to go. As Terry comes to the line now, it's officially stop the clock at 38 minutes and 59 seconds. So this should be the last lap, and Tom Jones has lost his milk at the second last corner rather. As Jay would say, he spilled his beans.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. It's if that's the way it's going to end for him, he's going to be absolutely shattered with that after leading for so long and putting in such a stellar job to lose it from one little mistake like that. He will be definitely disappointed.
So I believe this is the last lap. I'll confirm when they come by next time. The current gap is about 1 second, so it's going to be too much for Tom to, unless Terry makes a mistake at the chicane, it's going to be too much for Tom to catch up. They come over the hill now. Yeah, there we go, checkered flags out. So Terry Nightingale will book a place in the iRacing final. But the big story tonight, Tom Jones has led the majority of the race. A few mistakes towards the end and will come home in second. I think he led the best part of about 30 minutes of that race, so he'll be devastated after that one.
And Jay Kennedy as well will be kicking himself. He ended up getting into third there and held it for so long and lost 2 positions. That end there.
Back in third place, Robert Hartley. Still got the crabs going on down the straight. Maybe he's zigging and zagging, waving to the fans. He's going to come home for oh, he's actually... There we go, round he goes in the last lap. You can't lose any more positions. Maybe having a little bit too much fun. But Robert Hartley now. Over the hill, he'll take third finally as he gets to the line. P4 is Robbie Tomei. P5, Phil Roxer. Actually, Jay Kennedy dropped from third place. Maybe put the Mozzers on him. He's finished in P6. John O'Barry, Luke Edmonton and Matthew Hill round out the field. So only 3 cars in the lap after all that, Daniel.
Yeah, bit of a surprising end. Looks like Jay, after doing such a good job, just kind of lost it all at the end there. Just couldn't keep the car together. But actually, I've got to say, probably the drive of the night would have to go to Robert Hartley for doing so well with such a poor car.
Yeah, to drive around with a crab car for the best part of the race was would have been hard. If you look at the quick results here, as I said, Terry Nightingale wins. I think it was about 2 or 3 laps to go when he got the pass on Tom Jones, and Tom Jones did come home in second. He'll be gutted with that one. Robert Hartley with the crabs comes home in third. Robbie Tomei in fourth. Phil Rockstra, P5, a lap down after that unfortunate stop-go for cutting the track at the chicane. Jay Kennedy in sixth. John O'Barry, Luke Edmonton and Matthew Hill ran out the field as tonight's 3 DNFs. So another good night's racing here at the Race to Reality competition, Daniel, and I believe next week we'll head back to... oh, geez, I lost this one. Okayama next week? No.
No. See how you go.
Should be one of my favourites, actually, Summit Point Raceway.
Summit Point Raceway. That's where we are next week, and I'm not too sure...
Actually, no, it'll be Lime Rock. We both got mistaken. Then we go back to Lime Rock. How did we forget it? So the V8s are racing this week.
Definitely, Lime Rock should be a lot of fun. The V8s look like they're a lot of fun, and I've seen some awesome screenshots already. And yeah, Lime Rock's going to be a lot of fun. Maybe we can talk Shane into giving us the chicane version.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool to see these cars bouncing over the curb up there. So
definitely would make for some interesting racing. So we'll see what we can do. And actually, V8's a racing chicane version, which. Running no chicane, sorry. So, yeah, but they're going to be interesting. Really nice tight track. We did a race there before Race of Champions when we were doing the Super Chaos races, and it was absolute mayhem. So, make sure you're watching on Monday night.
Definitely, and We've got Grand Am tomorrow night as well. Don't forget round 11. Sorry, from Suzuka with the Riley Daytona prototype and the McLaren. So we'll be back at 8:45, I believe it is. I keep getting confused with the daylight savings. I know for Queenslanders nothing's different, but yeah, we're back at 8:45 tomorrow night. And, a big thanks, Daniel. It's been too long, mate, since we had the commentary box all to ourselves.
I know it's a little bit strange, but it's good. We'll definitely have to do a bit more catch up, you and me, in the combox.
Yeah, definitely. And of course, a big thanks to our broadcast sponsors, V8 Online Superstore, Direct Clutch Services and V8 Supercars Fan Group. And of course, don't forget RaceCentre for putting on this fantastic race to reality competition. Until tomorrow night, I'm Corey Hanger, your host have been your host tonight. Tune in, as I said, 8:45 tomorrow night for the Grand Am Series. You've been watching v8online.com.au.